It's Friday. Greetings and welcome to a Friday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is February 7th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing well. I gotta imagine you're riding high. I love the move from your Cavaliers.
Did they just make the trade? Is this breaking news?
Yeah, they got a Hunter.
Did they get
Hawks.
DeAndre Hunter? Oh, I haven't been dialed in. Who'd they trade?
I think some picks.
They need size on the wing.
Karis
LeVert. I figured LeVert. They had to get rid of somebody. Too many cooks in the kitchen at that point. Karis LeVert.
Just as long as they don't get, great Chicago suburbs legend Max Strus. Just as long as they didn't get rid of Strus, I'm okay. Gives me that's my Cavs rooting interest. Is Max Strus.
Yeah.
I drank some Max Strus wine over the holidays.
He's got his own wine. Everybody's got their own wine, I guess. Could slap their name on a bottle these days. Well, that's good.
I gotta say,
what?
I don't think any wine aficionados would be running to get it.
Oh, that's a low blow against Chicago suburbs.
I'm being honest.
Max Strus.
All I try to be all the time,
I love that we're trading people for to come because it seems like the Browns are being requested to trade out. Everybody wants to leave now, which is unsurprising. So we got that going for us. Who do you like in the Super Bowl this weekend? We're recording this on Friday.
I forgot this was our Super Bowl preview episode.
Picks, props, DFS options, whatever
hammer,
you need.
Lock.
Do they even have DFS for? Yes.
Hammer,
Fade
lock.
This.
You're printing money.
Fade that the fourth down will happen inside the 10-yard line. Fade it. No, I don't know. What do we want to say here? PJ looks disgusted.
I got friends on both sides of the
friends?
Of the coin.
What are you just texting with Patrick Mahomes?
No. I have I have family members that are friends are fans of both. Okay. I don't know. There's the only team I actively root against is the Packers. And I have family that are Packers fans, but I have a family member that's a season ticket holder of the Chiefs. I mean, you kind of want to see greatness, and Mahomes is so good. I don't know. I think I can't live for an Eagles win. I still hold a lot of angst about the doink, the double doink.
Was that Santos? Who was the kicker for that?
Parkey. It was your kicker.
Of course, Cody Park. How could I forget Cody Park? Oh my God. Rom is in the desert in an absolute canal of sand right now. God, I've been watching LIV all day. Best broadcast of the year. Best golf. Now the year's 6 weeks old. My favorite broadcast of the year so far. It's just a Thursday morning delight. I don't know. Sunday, I'm going to be watching Phoenix, but this has been a Thursday morning.
It's a Saturday. Delight. It's a Saturday finish.
On LIV. But I'm saying, when it comes to Sunday and it's time for, when the chips are down, I'm going to watch Phoenix. But
what have you liked about it?
I mean, the absurdity of it, you know me. I like a little awkwardness. I like a little just people pushing the limits of what we thought was normal. The flashing lights, these dancing robots, these the players, it's shot after shot. I got a text from my brother who's like a casual golf watcher, isn't going to watch golf on Thursday morning. He probably had it on in the background of his office. He goes, it is really insane. Watching LIV, they do show an insane amount of golf shots. He goes, I don't know if I'm watching some type of replay, but it's just one after another. It's jarring. There's no downtime. DJ swings 5 seconds after his playing partner. It's hilarious. It is nonstop golf. I thought there was nothing else great on at 10:15 on a Thursday. I found it to be highly amusing, also entertaining. I don't know. I've just enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the appearance of it, the music. I'm not suggesting it's revolutionizing golf or anything. It seems like guys are really trying to play a little bit. They did throw some late minute. They seemed like they waited until they were about to tee off to finish all these things. Our wild cards, by the way, are Anthony Kim and Max Lee, the promotions winner. Oh, by the way, everyone's score counts now. There's nowhere to hide. Spread has come to LIV. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere for anyone to run, whether it's Poulter which is bad for the Majestics, right? If they need that fourth score, they're screwed.
What are you talking about? This is the rise of the Westie. You put major exemptions on the line, and guess who's back? The greatest player never to win a major, Lee Westwood, is back in the mix. Ready? He's waiting for once the Masters announced that he might be a Masters favorite again.
God, Kokrak and Gooch are just killing Smash. I mean, the problem with Westy, even if he's back, you still got to align Stenson and Poltz. Got to get their act together, which is hard for all three of them to get their act together.
Here's the thing: I think Westy, he's a true sportsman. We know this for the pod. He's a true sportsman. He had to be ashamed at the tape he put out and the making of the magic sticks or whatever that name of that documentary they did. Yeah. They had to be embarrassed. That had to be a low moment for a true sportsman like Lee Westwood. This is a redemption year. This is going to be like the year he almost won Bay Hill and the Players.
I mean, it's February 6th. We'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. LIV did get an exemption from the USGA.
How about
Mike
that?
Wan just kind of used to call, really mocked LIV at many points, call them the Ice Capades, spoke out of one side of his mouth on one thing. Then he comes around. It's 2025. And he's dropping in that LIV. They're the first of the four organizations to give an explicit exemption. Now the Masters is given special invitations to players. That's not an explicit exemption. They have those as well. Top player or not otherwise exempt in the top three of their final standings. So it's eminently possible this goes to no one. If it's John Rahm, probably already exempt. Bryson DeChambeau, already exempt. I don't know. I guess Neiman might not. But, it's a 50-50 deal. It's not a massive allocation of spots, but it's one. They also are giving 10 spots to local qualifying. They're exempting players into local.
I can't believe you didn't mention the favorite for one of these spots.
Who's that?
Mean
Ollie
Dean.
Schneider. Yeah. Could be Mean Dean.
Mean Dean?
The Marunk man?
No, Mean Dean. Mean Dean's on a different level.
The Statos. Bubba Watson playing well. He's actually putting some birdies on the board. God, that Range Goats team is such a mishmash of garbage.
I got to ask a question. The LIV Golf leaderboard's not working for me. It appears to be down. Okay. Do you think that's just it's not working, or do you think it's because of just the increased traffic? And demand driven by this heavily. The energy on course was palpable. There were so many fans in the grandstand.
Look, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. They've got this old guy playing frisbee from 3 feet away, trying to throw frisbee in a hole, and this is like the on-site activation.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah. What?
They have the grandstands and the suites up, and there's nobody in them, just like TGL holes with the grandstands without the people in them.
The fake. Who were more people at PJ? You've watched both closely. Champions Tour Morocco, Royal Dar es Salaam, Blue Course, or whatever it is, or Riyadh, LIV Riyadh.
Well, there's certainly more going on at Riyadh. I mean, they had a halftime show with drones and fireworks.
I love it. I don't want to sound like a sucker here. I just have it's scratched me where I itch on this Thursday morning.
Exactly.
The Backstreet Boys are on right now. For what reason? Unclear, but they're on. And they're singing a cappella, things.
LIV Golf's back. All right. There we go.
I love that they announced a big new partner, like this company called Madden. It's like redefining the mining industry around the world. It's just like the Saudis' nationalized mining service. It's like everything's sponsored by Madden. This was a big rollout today.
Well, they had another sponsor that was like very local to Saudi Arabia. That they brought up.
It's just sort of moving money around in the PIF or whatever.
Just taking one money from one pocket and putting it in the other.
Legion 13 is just woodshedding everybody. 7 clear here. Tom McKibbin, who just went for a bowl of soup, it sounds like, just signed on to LIV with this holding the PGA Tour card, went for a pittance. Maybe a family decision there, or driven choice there. But he's hot out of the gates. Tyrrell and Rahm is doing well. So they're crushing everybody. Anyways, I didn't mean to go down a LIV path here at the start. But as we record this, I've enjoyed it. On this, and it will alleviate the heat you're getting from a Twitter user, Randall Dewey, who said we didn't talk enough about LIV on Wednesday.
And that we talked too much about the Champions Tour. PJ, do you have a statement for that? It felt like, you know how Chuck Hoffman's statement kind of took a run at Rory very clearly? Felt like Randall was taking a run at you.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sixth in the Aon Swing 5 or anything like that, so I really gotta figure out where I'm coming from here. But I have not seen, you know, Sebastian Munoz and Mark Leishman walking a camel around while they're out there in the Middle East, but I have seen Calic and John Daly. So once that happens, you let me know.
I had LIV on this morning, and I completely forgot that Bassi Munoz existed.
Yeah, that's. I've had a few of those moments. I looked at the team photo or like the school class photo. I was just scrolling. I was like, God, forgot about him. Consensus needs to be Reed as the one who's mostly just taking a nosedive into obscurity with the move to LIV more than
Patrick Reed.
Yeah, he jumped on the screen for a minute today. Just slam duck hook, just hard. Just it went boom right with the tracer against the sky. It looked even more ghastly than normal. But yeah, you don't get a lot of Reed. Bassi Munoz, Mito, I think would fit in there. I haven't seen a lot of lost balls. So there was one moment Cam Smith was shuffling his shoes in the rough and is like, I can't find it. It's dark.
Cam Smith has had a rough day. He can't keep the ball on the planet. His caddy's yelling at people to stop moving because the shadows are getting in his way. Like
I loved how there's the double shadow. There's a shadow on each side. Yes. Every you know, like I hate when I am standing over a golf ball looking at my shadow. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate hitting shots
in the middle of the day. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And these guys are doing every shot.
I noticed that when we were at the park, I was trying to get my shadow out of people's line, and I'd walk one way and then the other shadow would come creeping in. And it felt like I was in the Matrix, just trying to get shadows out of people because you get the double deal, the double shadow. We should have more night golf, though. There should be more lit courses in the U.S., especially in the South when it's warm out. You know, you could putter around a little bit.
Well, you got to be mindful of the neighbors around. Nobody wants those high beam lights around their neighborhood. Hey, PJ, do you have any comment for your favorite athlete ever, Brooks Koepka?
Playing dictatorship.
It's not good.
DFL.
It's really not good. I'm marginally worried. I'll throw a marginally worried out there. We'll see how we're feeling in like a month or so. But it's not great. It's not where I want to be.
Not a good start. I'm not worried. I think he's probably just playing his way into form here. How about just DJ? Good. Do you think he joined a new club in Florida?
Where is he now?
He's T8.
Did they just set this up like a total cupcake? Worried about the darkness, kind of like, I mean, everybody's shooting low 60s. I don't know what the course in Riyadh, but yeah, DJ may be on the way back. I'm not taking a single ounce of sort of insight from this for what it projects to the future, but there are some names, mostly just Legion 13 going, just walloping everybody else. But I like the recovery gummies interlude with Brendan Steele, Tringali, and then Ollie Schneiderhan's filling in for Phil, who's on the bench after straining his shoulder or something, working out. It's just been a fun watch. Arlo got mad that Rick Shields' handle is still Rick Shields PGA. And Foltz, wanted to come in, is like, no, it's not like PGA Tour. I think he's a PGA UK member. But Arlo wasn't up to, he's going to have to change that handle. Rick Shields PGA. I don't know. I've just been amused. And now we got Marunk Man going ham, 9 under.
Arlo just screaming Dickie B every 30 seconds has been really,
I heard a call of that.
Really?
Dick Bland is now Dickie B. Hey, I'm having fun. It's on Fox Sports, I guess. So,
Arlo talks about the Johnnies too. We got a UConn Johnnies promo in. It's great. It's great.
Bet you're happy about that.
Are you gonna go up to stores? You gonna go see Dan Hurley and the greatest coach in the world in the flesh?
I've looked. Tickets are like really expensive. This is what you get when you don't have the world's most famous arena. So maybe if they come down, but we'll see.
Maybe there's a UConn season ticket holder that would bring you up there. This listening.
Well, I'm around
behind enemy lines.
Yeah, I'd be worried. Those UConn fans are aggressive.
Yeah, they're intense.
We got to get the guy that sat courtside at the Garden last year who got ejected for yelling at Danny too much. We got to get that guy right next to the bench again. That's the mission.
I'm getting a little worried about my Illini. We lost.
Someone said they're tanking for a good seed or a better lower seed.
I don't
know how that works.
I think we got some problems going on right now.
Just to get them out of the way now. February.
That's what we're hoping. Right now, I'm kind of worried. Are we going to even make the tournament?
Stop it. You'll be fine. Okay.
Hey, in other news, how about just a guy, Spieth?
What about him? Where is he
selling property on Justic Island? He's T4.
He's 3 under. There's 17 holes. Let's hold our horses.
I think this could be the start of something.
Do you want a insight from Data Boy Joseph Lamagna that's in the Just a Guy realm, Just a Guy genre? He said
he's battling to finish within 12 this week.
He's battling. He's on a good path, T4. He said it's amusing, but he said waste management note. Max Homa and Charley Hoffman were priced as essentially a coin flip this week in a head-to-head market. Wow. Is Max Homa tumbling to Just a Guy territory? Or is this just Chuck Hoffman at home in the waste and the toughs where he feasts, where he does well? That's a coin flip head-to-head.
A lot of change going on with Homa. New instructor. Cobra.
Yeah.
Lulu, he's redefining what golf partnership could look like.
Pushing the world forward with his clothes.
That's a heavy weight to bear.
That's fair. Just a guy who's playing well.
Oh my God. Do you see who's DFL?
I did. Who is it again? Oh, yeah.
It's Todd Watch. B Todd.
Yeah. He's going through it. Not nothing we haven't done before. Not anywhere. Not any place we haven't seen. Not discouraged. Needs to just, go get in the lab. I'll get it right. Just keep using those starts.
Clanton with a 3 over 74. I feel like he's
started hot.
He's got too much attention.
What is there supposed to be? If he makes the cut, I think, and then he gets his card, I think, right?
He's a non-member that all the member-run organizations are doing profiles on.
Do you want to talk? He was in featured groups. He was in the featured groups. Charley Hoffman might not be happy about that. Yeah. You see, Rory got asked about Hoffman's. He goes, I felt thinly veiled at me.
I mean, it was ridiculous. TGL, TP World Tour status. What was the third one?
Non something events, whatever. Basically, the showdown or whatever it is. I mean, can we go back to that? Because it just dropped when we were recording. That was an insane letter that made no point. The only point he was obscene was to throw one up and in on Rory. All the words before that were just like nonsense. Just, it was just stating the obvious. It wasn't a letter that needed to be written. Why was it written? And then Rory comes back at him at TGL and said, PGA Tour owns 20% of this. TGL. They own 20% of, or whatever. They own a percentage of European Tour productions. I think being mad at a European Tour player or a European player for playing the European Tour is bananas. Would you want, I don't know that they all want that life, but they want to stay supportive and loyal to their old tour, their original tour. And what are you getting mad about? Do you want that, Charley Hoffman? Are you trying to start, going to Dubai or Made in Himmerland or this, that, and the other? No. So why are you getting mad at these guys?
I think we should
bizarre.
I think we should ship Tuffman out to the South African swing.
The only statement that maybe made less sense or less salient points with less impact is one that came from the PGA Tour just moments ago as we hit record. This is, it hit my inbox and the subject line was an update from the PGA Tour regarding the future of men's professional golf. I was like, wow, that is a big subject. The future of men's professional golf. Is the deal done? What has happened here? Merger, we're all done. We're going forward. No, nothing. We know golf fans are eagerly anticipating a resolution to negotiations with the Public Investment Fund and want to thank President Trump for his interest and longtime support of the game of golf. We asked the president to get involved for the good of the game, the good of the country, and for all the countries involved. We are grateful that his leadership has brought us closer to a final deal, paving the way for reunification of men's professional golf. And this is in relation to Mr. Monahan and player director Adam Scott meeting with President Trump on Tuesday of this week, February 4th. I like that they sent a non-American citizen in Adam Scott to go meet with the President of the United States of America. Now, he is like, if he connotes like a citizen of the world, Adam Scott, right? He really is like an Aussie, lives in Switzerland. He just plays primarily on the U.S., but everywhere he really is like a man of the world. But
what is it? Is it Luxembourg, the country that's never been in a war?
Switzerland's always neutral, is what it is.
I mean, that seems
Luxembourg
like
may claim to that too. I don't know.
Who knows? But, everybody might be American by the time this administration's done.
Speaking of Adam Scott, my favorite part of Rory's response was him and Keegan standing next to Rory. As Rory kind of went, Rory was very diplomatic and professional about it, but he was kind of telling Charley Hoffman to shut his fat mouth, essentially, going on and on and on about it. And Keegan and Adam Scott, who, are pros and have been a while, just were kind of bouncing from left foot to right foot, Keegan crossing the arms. That was my favorite part of that video.
I think the best part, I wish Rory would have gotten into this, is Hoffman. The only reason he has a card is because he got a sponsor's exemption last year. This is a guy that shouldn't even have a card if the tour operated like a normal sports league.
Oh, God.
Just ship him off to the sun.
He's still competitive a little bit. He did all right. Done okay.
You know what? Like the tour could lose Chuck Hoffman tomorrow, and nobody would notice.
Well, all right. Let's not pile on here. Someone did tweet. Who tweeted at us? Is country now coming after players, sponsors, partners, country, and fans? That's where we're going now, with country getting a shout out in the latest PGA Tour statement. I don't know what this means, but they did meet with Donald Trump with Australian Adam Scott. Anything else on waste management or LIV that you want to get into early? I got a bunch of news. We're going to go to Unsubstantiated Rumor Friday on PGA Tour food prices at the Global Home here in a minute.
Real quick. We're a fantasy pod. We're a picks pod. Justin Thomas in the mix for first round leader. Probably won't end up being it, but in the
FRL.
mix.
Hammer.
Hope people hammered. Lock down our locks of the week.
FRL. I bet you. Are you just watching the ESPN Plus gambling stream today? I bet that's all.
This is what us gambling pod people do. Just get locked in on the gambling feed.
Hey, I don't mean to be a scold, but there's just too many influencers at the Phoenix Open.
I mean, who cares?
I don't care. But it loses its effect when you just bring every Tom, Dick, and Harry with 10,000 followers into the arena. Jelly Roll, I can understand.
I see he was late for his time. Him and Tom Kim. That was 30 minutes late for his tee time. Him and Tom Kim are that's the level superstar Tom Kim thinks he is.
What do you think? What do you think Aaron Rodgers and Charlie talked about yesterday?
Ayahuasca.
I would imagine, right?
Being completely washed, maybe.
Oh, that's mean. That's just mean. That was uncalled for. It's a low blow. I didn't need that. He was still referring to himself as a Jet. We might be running this back. I didn't need that. That was mean. That was uncalled for.
I just think we need to spread it out a little bit more. Every brand releases some new activation. Puma's got the camouflage with Real Tree this week. You can read about it on Scratch, where you now get the disclaimer. This is brought to you by Puma before you can read the article. But I don't know. It just feels like it's overdone at this point. I love Phoenix.
Doesn't sound like you love Phoenix.
Spread them out to other weeks. There's too much. I want to know which influencers to just lock in on, which new activations to lock in on. There's too much going on at Phoenix. Is all there is. Speaking of activations, if you're short on coffee, you go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Use that promo code SGS. You get 20% off your entire order, your entire freaking order. So if you get a subscription, you'll get 30% off your first order, 10% off all future shipments. So that's SGS at checkout. You get our special blends delivered to you every other week, 2 weeks, monthly, whatever interval you want. It's a medium dark roast is the SGS blend. The fried egg blend is a medium light roast that we've tested about, I don't know, this time last year. It's about this time last year we spent like an hour or so with those guys picking out our own blends. Supports our work, gets you something you'll use each day, every other day. I'm trying to drink less coffee. Maybe shouldn't be a good part of the ad, but I'm trying to cut back a little bit.
What are you talking
on the coffee?
You know what happened? One of my neighbors had a coffee maker malfunction this morning. The coffee maker is down.
Yeah.
They texted over. You know why? Everybody on the block knows we're a coffee house. It's a good walk house. Texted over, hey, could I bum a cup of coffee? I go, you know what? I'll make you a whole pot. Made them a whole pot, put it in a big Yeti tumbler.
Oh,
just shipped it over to them, and they texted back, God, this coffee's just so good.
He had a good walk home after coming over to pick up his Yeti. I love that. That. So go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun.
It's spreading in the community here. I got another text this morning from a nearby resident who had just gotten the coffee and said, damn, this is good coffee. Little two unpaid endorsements this morning to my text message feed. What is your text message feed? What would you call that, PJ? I sound like an old man.
Just your text messages? I wouldn't call it a feed.
Messages.
Yeah.
My messages.
Yeah.
Not need to be a feed.
If I was an influencer, I'd be putting those up on my story.
Let me tell you, if it's good enough for the people
fire.
If it's good enough for the hoity-toity world of Marin, it's good enough for you. I'll tell you that. If it's spreading like wildfire up there.
I don't want to talk shit about Marin, but coffee scene here sucks. It's an honest embarrassment how bad the coffee is. It's great for my wallet because I have like no desire to go somewhere to get coffee.
Yeah. All right. That's goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. And the promo code is SGS. All right. Unsubstantiated Rumor Friday. They are with pitchforks at the Global Home, crossing the bridge, crossing the moat with pitchforks. They've raised the price of the meals at the cafeteria, the much ballyhooed cafeteria that we learned about in that article in Jacksonville, whatever newspaper, about the pizza stone oven and all the other stuff they got going on. Here's
this is where all the PGA Tour Americas guys hang out when they jam the tour employees.
Yeah.
When they're off in their off season, they just hang out in the cafeteria.
God, Ricky's staying in camo. I just saw your message, PJ. That's going to be a lot of website posts. Click here to buy. You won't believe Ricky's outfit. Can't see him. You can't even see him out there. Here's the memo they sent the tour. We've heard from multiple people on the other side of the moat. Menu price increase. With the growth of our global home campus and the expansion of our food offerings across 2 locations, we have updated our pricing approach while striving to maintain the tour's subsidy level. Moving forward, pricing will be more dynamic, adjusting based on food costs to ensure dynamics become just a dirty word. More dynamic, adjusting based on food costs to ensure a consistent subsidy within our budget. Ooh. You may notice changes in the pricing of key items at both the cafe and the coffee bars. The updated menus can be found on WorkVivo, which sounds like just a needless software that you don't, just adding on to the glut. Or see posted in the cafe locations.
I got news for Swamp employees. I got
Good
news.
Walk.
If your coffee prices are going up, now's the time to take a good walk. To think about what you're doing for your coffee solution.
Support young, small golf businesses everywhere, not global. Honestly, so people are furious about this. Apparently the subsidy means like the tour subsidizes to make the prices cheaper. I'm told when you show up for your first day of work or your interview, HR makes this sound like you are basically
eating for
being
free.
given a golden toilet to sit on, or $25,000 in your bed. Like they make this sound like this is the greatest benefit of all time, and now they're jamming you. You know what it reads like though, Andy? It reads like some private equity speak.
I was gonna say, I think I've got a very clear line to where I'm drawing this.
Yep.
One of the SSG investors spent an ungodly amount of money on a certain baseball player this offseason. And this feels like him trying to claw back some of that investment into Juan Soto.
We're charging $5 for a quesadilla? No way. $8 now.
$13.
$13.
It would be great if they went to ballpark pricing.
I was gonna say my Pat LaFreida's steak sandwich on opening day is gonna be like $50 now, but worth it. I'll tell you that much.
You sucker. You're a sheep following PJ. But yes, this is clearly SSG putting not clearly, I don't want to say that, but the screws are coming. The screws are tightening here.
There's two ways to become more profitable. Get more revenue in the door or get more efficient. This is an efficiency.
The tour could use some efficient sizing or whatever you want to call it.
I feel like there's never been more talk in the mainstream about making things more efficient than right now.
Well, it's just garbage. It's just every jamoke trying to sound like they should be in a conference room making a presentation. So,
do you think they're going to uncover that the government's been paying for Club TFE subscription?
USAID is spending close to $75 million on Club TFE subscriptions. Every congressman, aide, staffer,
we're not going to be able to make payroll next week, Brendan.
Has been subsidized, has been just raking it in.
Hottest club in town, all because of the government.
USAID never knew that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't take any grand takes. I mean, people are mad. It's just, do you think in a more substantive way, the SSG starts to like make this just a balance sheet business?
Isn't that what people are worried about with Jersey Mike's?
I think like that by and large, that's like generally accepted or okay. And then like, I think you reach a point where you get detached from reality. And we might see this with the Dallas going on right now, the Mavericks. I don't know why they did what they did. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. Their fans are basically done with their entire franchise. The Super League in Europe, Super League, when they said, oh, you know what, we're just going to Super League together. Everything you've known about football or soccer doesn't matter, or is certainly less important. So I think like there's ways to do this. I just, at some point you can cross a line. You know, the SSG's own John Henry really disaffected an entire generation of Red Sox fans when he traded Mookie Betts. I don't think it's the level of Luka, but that was sort of a balance sheet proposition. I think in sports, like if they're just looked at as these toys, these assets, I'm not suggesting the menu prices is, I'm extrapolating all this from the menu prices, but it's something to think about. And what Seth Waugh talked about in his interview with Eamon about, you know, a real profit motive, different guys, different ball of wax, hard charging fellas. that you can push to the point where you are so detached from as a real like consumer product and not just a balance sheet item. And I think we're seeing that so clearly in Dallas right now. Whatever they did it for, long-term casino play, tank the value of the Mavs, whatever it is, everyone in Dallas freaking hates their team, hates their franchise, has their heart ripped out, is unfollowing them on his, like the whole deal is just like there's a way to go too far with this. And that's just something I would throw out there. It's, I don't know, a word of caution, but just a thing that's maybe out there as more private equity puts their teeth into professional golf.
You're making me worried about my ball frogs.
What about him?
It's John Henry.
Yeah, I mean, PJ, am I wrong? That Mookie Betts trade.
I mean, that's very fair. That was just trading him to begin with. Like, you're not a small market team or the Red Sox. You could have easily paid him, and he goes on to win MVPs and star for the Dodgers. But also the fact that they did not get anything of consequence back in the end either.
Entire fan base though is like kind of like F this. This is not like what I got on board with or why I cared about this team. And I don't know. So there's a way to go too far with some of this. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, prices are more expensive at the Global Home cafeteria. Other news.
Good time for Good Walk coffee for tour employees.
You see at the Founders Cup, there's fellows walking around with giant big letter hats that just say Pace on them, G4. Oh, we need some of these. This is great. Get these guys rumbling around. Charley Hoffman sees one of these guys walking around outside the ropes, walking up the fairway, just says Pace. I love this. I love it. LPGA leaning into the pace of play. Very big fan of this. Pops, pace of play, patrol.
This is putting product first. If they can do this across multiple things, that's a reason to really believe in the LPGA becoming a vastly more popular product, especially with what's going on tour. And like one of my big takeaways from LIV this morning, I don't feel like this is a tour operating in any way of like we're gonna merge and come together anytime soon. That is just the general feel I got from this morning.
Yeah. I mean, their off season, they didn't add anybody of consequence. McKibbin's the highlighter. They were rolling out their rookies in this sort of star-studded package, and there was nobody. But yes, I mean, the show they're putting on today doesn't look like they're going quietly into that good night at all. They're going with lights and fireworks, and Arlo screaming incredible. So
just got a Bezadenhout bogey. You know what that means?
What?
JT T1.
Wow.
FRL.
Wow.
In play.
FRL hammer lock. FRL. On the subject of pace, I watched a little bit more of that Lucas Glover interview where he went hard at aim point. I don't know if
the Lucas Glover show.
Well, I think he's with a guest, so he just comes on and starts talking.
Feels like we've been doing XM radio advertising the last
PR?
2 episodes. Yeah.
What else did we have?
We should be getting a cut of their subscription.
The TGL broadcast.
Yeah, the TGL broadcast.
We're going to bring dozens to the TGL radio broadcast.
Westy getting a post-round interview. Step us. Good for Westy.
First time in 2 years.
But Lucas Glover, before he went into aim point and called it rude, said they need to get rid of the kids' standard bearers, the scores.
Yeah.
I love that.
You missed that?
I missed it until I rewatched yesterday. These kids, they're in the way. They're too slow. We all know the scores. They're posted. We can check the app. We can check our internet. I love that. We don't need these kids anymore. Figure out a way to get them out of here. I love that. That amused me. Pace of play remains hot as ever. Over at the Qatar Masters, my favorite, Dale Whitnell is wearing ski goggles. Have you seen this?
Is
Dale
it because
Whitnell?
of the sand blowing around?
Yes. Good. Very, very perceptive there, Andy. Apparently, he's very sensitive eyes and an eye issue. I'm going to slack.
This is someone that, when in polar vortexes in Chicago and in snowstorms, you got to go. Gary Nicholas wouldn't know anything about this. You go out there, sometimes you got to put the ski goggles on because it's that
Drifting,
intense. Yeah.
Blowing.
It's blowing around. You got to be prepared for the elements.
God, my brain is so broken. I was shoveling like 2 weeks ago, just thinking.
About
Gary. Yes,
that's all I think about.
Every time.
Thankfully, don't have to shovel anymore.
Yeah, that Dale Whitnell. It's amazing, but apparently he's got sensitive eyes. Just avoiding it's good workout. Good.
You know what? I can't wait for the fashion influencers to get a hold of that. They're gonna.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna run with this.
Oh yeah.
Is this a trend-setting new look?
Needs to be, $475 goggles. You need to get in on this.
Malbon could be stocking them next week.
I had no issue with the Malbon sweatsuit. I don't care. It's fine.
I don't either.
What I care about is like everybody telling us like you just don't understand. This is high fat. Like it's a gray sweatsuit, and you put a label on it, and you just say like I know how to be hip. That's fine. Whatever.
I've been wearing sweatsuits like that since college.
Yeah.
I could tell you all about how I would just not leave my apartment all Saturday and just be in a sweatsuit until I went out to the bar at night.
Yep. What else do we got? News. We got the LIV exemption.
I think that is the thing. This is the same thing that happened with hoodies. Is like all the people that like it are like, established golf's gonna be big mad. Everybody's gonna be big mad, and nobody's mad.
That it all comes around. I don't need to sit. Yeah, you don't need to tell me a gray sweatsuit is like avant-garde, some sort of like thing we've never seen before. That's what I get. Sort of roll my eyes about. That this is like
Champion's been in this business for
redefining golf
years.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Russell Athletics, son.
You
ever heard of Nike? Nike has made sweatsuits for 30 freaking years.
That's all. It's the way we talk about it is a little weird. But Mike Wan out at the superintendent's conference said the USGA has never been more committed to investing in golf courses and the experiences they provide for golfers. Do we believe him on that? Or is he committed to investing in golf courses?
I think so. That green section is like pretty robust.
Okay.
Shout out USGA green section.
All right.
I think they're doing stuff.
One way to invest in golf courses.
It sounds like you're just trying to jam. You're trying to jam them.
No. Keep the ball rolled down. I think that's an investment in golf courses too. Don't cave in to, Derek Sprague. What are you eating? What are you just eating?
What do you think?
Oh, that's an ad read for another day. Look at this. Why didn't you time that up?
Well, I got them right by my desk now.
I know. That's good stuff. I can't wait to do that ad read, actually.
PJ, did they send you some?
Okay. All right. Well, we got to get PJ. PJ needs to be involved in that. You see Ryan Barath article at scratch.com. He did some digging on the Full Swing launch monitors, like actually started to run some numbers. He said, I'll kind of TL too long didn't read. Go read it, though. Ryan Barath's like a sharp dude, knows what he's talking about. He basically calculated the ball speed set to 185 and a launch angle set to 12 degrees. The flight scope model required a backspin value of 5,000 RPM to get approximate 288-yard carry. So he took one of Rory's shots that we saw during Rory's drive on the 13th hole. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to generate 5,000 RPM off a driver, but to generate that much spin instead of 185 mile per hour ball speed would require a very unusual mishit with a modern driver or a miscalculation. So interesting. Further questions about the TGL technology on a partner, no less. Scratch, right? 20% PGA Tour's invested in Scratch. They're invested in TGL, as Rory reminded us yesterday. That could be interesting. That's a lot of.
If I was Ryan Barath, I might be looking over my shoulder, wondering when when the Pontevedra might be calling.
No, he's a proper
great
journalist. He's a smart
I know.
Dude. This was a good article. He knows good content. Does
Great article.
TGL have a tech problem? Let's look at some numbers. I actually did some numbers. It might have a tech issue, tech kerfuffle. We'll get there. A big dip in TGL ratings while we're
Not
here.
Good.
I think what did it go down to? 555 or something for the last one, LA versus Boston, 9 p.m. Tuesday night deal.
Well, just wait till President's Day.
Yeah, it's gonna fluctuate.
Listen, I think everybody in the Frogs organization's worried.
Why?
We got to figure this out. We got to make the playoffs.
Well, you got to bring Hideki in, no?
I think Hideki's coming in.
How do you think Hideki, just precise down to every little detail, going to react when his ball goes poof?
I think the numbers have been good, though, for the approach stuff. I think it's more of a driver issue.
Driver thing. Okay. Last but not least on news, Sergio talking to, I got this in my email this morning. I want to make sure I get the outlet. It was a Middle East outlet he sat down with. Al Arabiya News. The poll quote said, "There's talk of me being a Ryder Cup captain in 2027. Sergio, where's the talk coming from? I love that he's just throwing it out there. Well, I guess there's some people suggested it, and I am doing so right now.
I think it'd be kind of big
dynamite. Oh,
petty, childish, perfect qualities for a Ryder Cup captain in terms
probably
of content.
Against Tiger. If we're talking 27, Tiger versus Sergio in a dare manner, that would be dynamite because I would love to be playing still. He's talking about 27. Obviously, there have been some talks, or there were some talks about maybe the possibility of me being the captain there. He's putting that out there in the public. Everybody consume it. Talks, hearing things, Andy. I'm hearing things that there's talks of maybe me getting, an invite to play at Pine Valley someday. This is essentially what Sergio. There's talks of me being the captain in 2027.
Can I suggest that if we don't get Tiger at Adair Manor, can we just please get a second term of Zach for the content?
He'd be great. He'd be good. You got to give him a second chance. Nick Sirianni was on the hot seat this September. Look where he is now. Zach just needs a little rehab. Needs a little time. But yeah, it's kind of funny how he's sort of trying to speak it into existence, is how I read. But otherwise, a good interview from Sergio. He wants to play. He wants to make Bethpage. He's working at it. He wants to start where he can.
Do you think Sergio would come in while a guy's in his pre-shot routine to wave him off a club and hand him a club that ends up splashing in the water 15 yards short?
I could see Sergio doing that, if I'm being honest. No. We hit this. No, I could see Sergio doing that. All right, let's go to.
I can see Sergio rejecting analytics.
Sure, absolutely. It's a feels guy. I mean, analytics, they've had that dialed in as part of the operation for a decade now. This is a Euro advantage. I know the US has caught up a little bit, but Sergio's like, we do this my way, and that's it. Let's go to Golf Advice. Golf Advice is brought to you by Friday Golf Events. We are rolling these out. They're selling out. They're selling out fast. Moraine sold out this week and very quickly.
It's
only
a good time.
TFE members join Club TFE.
Well, it's a good time to join the millions of government employees that have their free Club TFE subscription.
You get a 24-hour jump on events access, and Moraine completely filled out with that during that jump. So
I heard that there was a lot of commentary in the event signups about our Ohio rankings. There's a lot of support for how I laid out those rankings.
Oh, good. Love that. But coming next week, we have Essex County Country Club in New Jersey. That's the New Jersey one, not the Massachusetts one. And Watchung Valley and Mountain Ridge.
Watchung Valley is that
I've seen that. I've seen that a million times. I never know how to pronounce it. Say it again.
Watchung.
Watchung Valley and Mountain Ridge. There's additional golf opportunities in the northern Jersey area after Essex County Country Club. We also have the Bermuda event at Mid-Ocean, CB McDonald's Mid-Ocean Club. It says only design outside the United States, 2-hour flight from East Coast cities. Event includes a round at Mid-Ocean and the PGA Tour host Port Royal, the home of Brendan Todd, where he saw the top. He's at the bottom now, but he's seen the top. B. Todd, Brian Gay, and others. Breakfast, lunch, and drinks both days. An oceanside sunset dinner at Mid-Ocean Club's Beach Club, and you get transportation to both courses, tea gifts, and prizes. So that's a husky return on investment to the Bermuda event at Mid-Ocean Club, a CB McDonald. All right,
man,
let's go
so
to
worried
SGS
about
Golf
B.
Advice.
Todd.
I'm not. It's hard. Are you more worried about B. Todd or Dick Green, BJ?
I'm more worried about B. Todd. It's first round of the year. A little rusty for everybody. Brooks, Dick Green. Not a great day for my islands, but we're okay. We move forward.
PJ, you want to take the first golf advice? You want to talk the one you sent me about the name?
Sure.
You want to read it because you went and found it in the dumpster?
Sure. I like this one.
All right, this is a good one.
No intro, so we have no idea how many kids or any interest in fighting. However, Andy Brendan, I relocated about 5 years ago and have held out on joining a new country club due to a number of factors. New job, somewhat up in the air on whether the change in location was going to stick, had a couple kids, etc. But I'm now in a position where I'm established in my new location, my kids are growing up, and I'm ready to join a new club. There is one club that checks just about every box. It's close enough to drive there in about 10 minutes. It has an architecturally interesting design, at least for a suburban course built in the last 30 years. It has all the stuff my wife and kids want. The price is extremely reasonable. There's just one problem. The name is stupid. It's so stupid that I cannot possibly imagine telling someone that I'm a member there without feeling like a total douchebag. I have other options that are more expensive, more crowded, further from my house, and with fewer amenities. Do I give up the otherwise obvious choice simply because I would be embarrassed to mention to someone that I was a member of a club with a name that is so idiotic?
I feel your pain on this one. I struggle. There are houses we found, like when we were looking for a house, I wouldn't buy the house because of the name of the street it was on. Like there's certain names of the street, like I'm not telling people that I live on, Rolling Meadows Court. I'm not doing that. I just can't. It's hard. What's the worst golf course name? They should do that. So maybe that's a separate disasters offshoot. There's some really bad ones out there. I mean, this is between you and your God. You got to come to terms with this.
I think you could get around telling people what club you're a member at. Just don't bring it up. Join and don't share that you're a member there unless somebody asks and be like, oh, it's just a club. You probably never heard of it. And just go to mass avoidance of telling people where you're a member at. That way too, it's going to reduce your guest fees. Nobody's going to know that you're a member. I would just try and be a member in anonymity.
In general, I think it's good practice not to go around telling people where you're a member at. Whether it's
you're not going to buy gear. So
there's cost savings.
Here.
There you go.
Maybe this is the play. Maybe the play is to join somewhere that you don't want to tell people you're a member of. And then it's going to save you money. And, you're also people aren't going to know that you're even a member of a club. They're going to just think you're a normal guy.
I feel your pain on this one, but I think you go for the convenience. You go for the
Where do you play golf? I play golf at a course down the street. That's all you have to say.
Gemini Falls over on, I don't know what's name is this? What's he so upset about?
What course is it?
Bald
you
Eagle
wouldn't even know.
Pass.
You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know the course. You just keep going there, or keep going that way, and then if somebody keeps questioning, you're going to say it, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I know that place," and it's going to be normal but you're going to avoid just the commoner, the commoner disdain. Just don't tell people you play golf. That's another option.
I know this sender. I'm trying to now look for country clubs in his area and find which one has the dumbest name. All right. Yeah, I think you do it. I think you go for convenience. You just grin and bear it. And then, like Andy has outlined, you don't talk about it. You don't bring it up. You don't, if people want to judge you based on the name, you just, whatever. You just be happy with all the good parts of it that you now have in your life, right? And I totally get your point of view on this. All right. Should we do another one?
Would love to.
You want me to jump in, PJ? You want me to do the next one?
Yeah. Do one of the ones you grabbed.
All right. Scramble cut short. 37 would likely get my ass kicked if I even thought about fighting. Slightly distorted the story to maintain anonymity from egregious decision makers in this case. Scramble. All right. So this is for the scrambles out there, I guess. I have a scramble tournament that I do every year with my high school buddies and some others. It is a memorial for one of our friends who passed away a while back. I love golf, but this one is generally about seeing old friends, catching up and reminiscing for me. I've had a somewhat steady team for a few years, but life got in the way and I was the only one who could make it this year. Just want to say, scrambles should not be about the golf. They're literally about supporting the cause of whatever that is for, and the school and seeing friends and just, probably partying a little bit. Just can't. It's a good thing to do a couple times a year, even if you're a good golfer. Luckily, a few good friends had a spot open. I was happy to hop on board. There was only one guy who was a 5 handicap, and I fell to a 10 this year. But the other two guys are definitely in the high teens, low 20s if they tracked it. Played unbelievably well for us and finished at 10 under. Well, barely finished. Problem started with the weather. It was projected to rain all week, but held off until the end of the round. The horn sounded while we were on our 18th hole, but we were able to quickly finish. There were about 5 groups who were not able to finish, with one of them having 1 hole left and also being at 10 under, and another at 9 under, but with an easy birdie hole left. So maybe looking at a 3-way tie. The guys who run the tournament felt unfair to declare either of the leading teams victorious, as a birdie or bogey could have changed the outcome, and we couldn't have them finish or have had a playoff that day. The solution they came up with was to draw a name out of a hat, and that was the winner.
Love this.
Somewhat illogical, but I thought I could get behind it. But hold on. Then they decided to put every single group in the hat.
Wait, of the whole event?
Yes.
I love this.
I love that you love it. The team that they declared the victor was nowhere near the lead.
Yes.
2 under.
Yes. This is
extraordinary. And now they get all the spoils, parenthetically adding literally nothing. A trophy that is likely a burden more than anything. I don't understand how any logical human could possibly think this was a good solution. I wasn't about to make a scene at this memorial tournament with some old friends of mine all around, and there's no real equitable choice in these circumstances. But this made absolutely no sense. 2 questions. Do you say anything and cause a scene? 2, what do you think is an actual solution in these circumstances? Don't say anything. I mean, it's completely insane. You could say something in like a half-joking, passive-aggressive way, but don't actually cause a scene. It's a memorial scramble tournament. Can't get upset about it. Just say, maybe why don't we take the top 3 finishers, the 2 10s and the 1 9, and put them in the hat? Make a joke about that.
Well,
the solution is just to do that or split it 3 ways.
Hideki did get his rightful title for the 2020 players. This is just like this.
When COVID and the chain smokers came in and ended it all. What did he shoot? Like 64 or something like that? I think
maybe 63.
I was going to say, I thought it was 63.
And then it was all gone. I
love this. I love the theater of putting everybody in the hat. I wonder if they announced that they were putting everybody in the hat, or if they just did it with no sanctioning whatsoever and just pulled out somebody that was not even close.
I think it'd be so awesome to have an event where like you convince everybody that it's like a tournament, competitive, and you tell like, we'll announce the format after the golf, but please rigorously keep score
Gun on it. Gun.
And then just draw everything from a hat just to see how mad people get.
I mean, these two groups finished. It wasn't like they called the horn on the 6th hole. The two groups finished.
You never know how that group at 2 under was going to finish. Can't know.
They couldn't have more than like 3 or 4 holes left. I mean, when you sign up for a scramble,
this is fantastic.
You're signing up for shenanigans. So I just don't think you can be mad. You can't be overly competitive or psycho about a scramble.
Maybe the group that finished 2 under was like Matt Eberflus, keeping timeouts in their back pocket, and they found out that the group at 2 under had bought 20 mulligans that they never used. So then they deemed that they deserved to be in the raffle.
Hey, who wore it better, Matt Eberflus or Rob Pelinka? Leather jacket boy. How about that guy?
You know, Pelinka went to the same high school as me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
You know that jacket? It's like $62,000 apparently. Someone looked it up. Yeah, it was like
a preposterous jacket.
Dior jacket or something like that. Get that guy out of here. You don't need to just be the GM.
Luka looked like he was going to the golf course.
He looked a little husky. Put on a sweater that protects the paunch. He looked all right. Okay. I think that does it for this Friday episode. Any other breaking news, PJ, we need to discuss here?
I wanted a little more Super Bowl. Who's PJ think going to win?
I'm not picking against the Chiefs. Begrudgingly.
Who do you want to win?
I mean, selfishly, I want the Eagles to win because I started investing in Eagles futures in like October. But now that we're here, I don't think that's happening.
Oh, you're running a little investment scheme on the side.
Did you see that thing?
I didn't know. You got to be divulging your gambling profile if we're a gambling podcast. You should have been telling people about this in October.
I've been very bullish on the Eagles, but now that we're here and I'm staring it in the face, I don't feel good.
Did you see that thing with like the last 6 Philadelphia championships? It resulted in like catastrophic issues for the United States of America. Pure coincidence, like the Great Depression, the stock market crash, like when the last time they had Philadelphia Athletics, the Eagles. It's just like the last 5 or 6, like something like very bad followed for the United States of America.
What time?
Pure coincidence.
Our own prop bet. What minute in what quarter are we done with the podcast?
Oh, it's a good one.
That is a good one.
Or should we just record them on Monday morning?
I don't know. Let's plan for halftime, tentatively halftime.
No,
right?
No.
You want to watch Kendrick Lamar? You really?
Well, this is the only appeal that my household has in the.
I know. It's a good opportunity to escape. Let them lock in, and you can escape. Right?
This might be the only thing that they watch.
Yeah, that's fine. When did you go to a gathering recent years where they didn't know the Super Bowl was on? You had to tell them to turn it on.
Yes, this was
2 years ago.
This was we were going to my wife's cousins for dinner, and I was like, well, it's Super Bowl Sunday. And my wife goes, well, like not everybody watches that. And I go, it's literally the most viewed event every single year. More people in America watch it than don't watch it. So I don't feel...
I don't know if that's true. It's close.
I effectively said, I don't feel bad about saying that I would like to watch the Super Bowl.
Fair.
And they were like, oh, we've completely forgot about the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
Are you going to make anything? You guys going to make anything?
Probably.
Ribs. I'm going to order something. My friends are making things. I don't make things. I got to order something by the end of today. It's on my list.
Okay. All right.
What are you going to order?
Sticking
like Domino's?
No, I was thinking like a little, either wings, keep it simple, or like a little mac and cheese, like home style mac and cheese from one of our restaurants here. Get a side. I don't need to be the main.
Wings have become too mainstream. Like Phoenix Open, just inviting all the influencers. Like, I don't know. We got to vary it up a little bit. Wings have become too default. I love wings.
What kind of take is this?
This is
been on the wings
ridiculous
bus since I was in like third grade.
When were they not mainstream? Is my question.
Well, they're way too expensive now. You got entire brick and mortar chains.
That's what the tariffs
just
are for.
wings. just wings. Yeah. Anyways, all right, everyone, enjoy your Fridays, enjoy your weekends. We'll be back with you on Monday. I don't know when we're going to record Super Bowl Sunday, but we'll tweet or share some sort of specifics on that. Talk to you then.